Alrighty. Now, at this point, I think we have worked too long, or we have spent so much time on the swiper. For now, let's leave it. We'll come back to it later. I think we've done what we need for now. So in this video, in this chapter, we're going to start working on our user model and the rest so we can start moving closer to our backend. Press Command P and then search for users table. This one. Right, in here, we're going to update this a little bit. So here, after email, we can simply here type new data. With this, it's going to be table, a string. We're going to have an about, which comes somewhere like this one. This text here, about. Yes, this should be nullable, of course. The next, we're going to have a table, the timestamp. This one, I'm going to have something like boosted until, make it nullable. Next is going to be a string for profession, make it nullable again. Next is going to be another string for university, nullable. Another string for for city, should be nullable. Then here for this table is going to be unsigned float, or it's going to be the height, make it nullable too. The next is going to be unsigned. Yeah, so we just use unsigned to get positive values only. Any value from 0 to positive. Here it's going to be age, nullable. This last one, let's create a string. We can create an enum here. Enum. Normally I used to do this the old-fashioned way, saying something like relationship goals, and then add the allowed values here, like new friends, something like that, and another value here, make it nullable. Now this way of creating enum values is good, but for me it's not really a convenient way, because if I want to update or change these values, it's going to be difficult, such that I have to run migrations again. Well, for us, I'm going to teach us a better way, or rather in my opinion, a better way of creating enum values by using enum classes and casting them to the user model or any model we're using. So for that, we can simply, let me just comment this out in case you want to check it out. First, we're going to create string, just a normal string. Here we're going to get this same name, relationship. Here we're going to say relationship goals. That is going to be nullable. Yes. Now that being said, now let's go to our file explorer here. In here, in the app, let's create a new folder. Call this one enums. In here, let's create a new PHP file. We can call this one relationship goals, then enum in the end. Here .php. Copy this name. All right. Now in here, we're gonna write the old-fashioned PHP. Let's use namespace here to app/enums, semicolon there. All right, now this is gonna link it to this app enums. In here, let's create enum and type relationship goals enum here. The return type should be a string for this class. All right, now in here, we're gonna create some cases. So it's going to be case, your long-term partner. Now these I'm getting them directly from Tinder, because Tinder has some relationship goals, about 4 types. Looking for long-term partner. Okay, another case. This should be new friends. Again, copy that. Here the string new friends. The short-term fun there. And another one, the last one. So and still figuring it out. Alright, now after creating this, now this at this point, it has no way of linking to the user's table. So let's go ahead and add this enum class to our user model. So here, open the user model, this one, the user model. In here, in the casts, we're going to say this field, let's just copy this from the table itself to avoid any typos. Relationship goals. this field, paste it in there, and here I'm gonna say it's going to be cast to a relationship goals enum class, like that. You see, this is showing some long-term partner, new friends, short-term fun, all that. Now this is gonna be easy because if you want to one day change this name or update it, we don't need to run any migration. Just come here and change it, or we can add more fields here, or rather, here we can add more cases there, and it will still work fine without interfering with the migrations. That's why I prefer enum classes. Now after adding that to the user, model here, now in here we can add these fields to fillable, all these ones, but it's going to take time. So the easiest way right now, since we're actually developing, we can simply remove this. Let's comment this out. Okay, let's create a protected guarded, a $ guarded, make sure it's spelled correctly as guarded. Create an empty array. Now this what it does, gonna make all the fields in the table mass assignable, which means they can be fillable. So you see, if it's empty, it just let everything be assignable. After that, well, let's go ahead and update our user factory, because we want to check how these fields are. We don't want to start creating our users manually and filling in these fields. So lucky for us, we're going to use the user factory. So I think Laravel already comes with the user factory. So here we go to File Explorer, go to Database, here, go to Factories. Yeah, we have a user factory here. Now we're going to update this one. So here down here, type again new data. In here, we're going to type the about. You're going to say fake text boosted until a fake. Let's make it optional. And then here, we're going to get some date, time between. Right, this accepts some values, some start date and end date now. So for us, normally with Tinder, I think you can only boost your profile for like 30 minutes to become top of your user in your area. I'm going to set this from start date to now, end date now. I'm going to say add minutes, 30 minutes. Or add a comma there. Next, I'm going to have profession. You can say fake, optional. Let's say job title. Here, let's just copy this. Let's replace that with university. It's going to be fake optional word. And there's going to be fake optional city for city. So here for height, it's going to be fake optional random float. We can go to here, you can say max decimals is 2, minimum is 150, the max is 200. And another one is going to be the age. So it's going to be fake a number between, wanted to be, the minimum age on Tinder is 18, I think, to 60 or 100. Alright, next is going to be relationship goals. Yes, make sure I type that correctly. Relationship goals is going to be, in here, we're going to get from these cases, these ones. So in order to use that, we can simply make it dynamic. Here, to make it more fun. Okay, let's create a new variable called relationship goals, like this one. Actually, here it's going to be relationship enum. You can get relationship goals enum. Let's get the cases. All right, now that we have that in here, let's get this one, relationship enums. Since it's an array, here we can say rand to 0, comma, here count relationship enums -1. This just allows us to pick any random value inside these cases between these 1, 2, 3, 4. Or just a way, I figured out how to create, dynamic cases. So here it will be assigned to this one. All right, now that we fill this up, One last thing, that let's go to our database, this one, database seeder. And if you don't know how to find it, you can just find it in database folder, and then seeders and database seeder, this one. Now in here, we're going to uncomment this line, which has user model factory. It's going to create 10 users for us. So for that, after doing that, now we can go to our terminal. So open a new terminal. In here we can type PHP artisan. Let's just migrate fresh and use a flag of --seed. So we can seed our database with these 10 users, and hopefully this new information will work correctly. So here, let's click enter. We have an error, a typo here, string. Let's go in the users table. Oh yeah, here, line 22, I have a typo here. Make sure this is correct, like string. Alright, now after fixing that, hopefully you have no errors, and hopefully you saw that error. So now after that, you can click again here in the terminal, try to migrate, and voila, it worked. So now we can go to our, if we refresh, we're going to be logged out, of course. We have to register again. But for now, if we go to our database, our users table, for me I'm using table plus. For you, maybe you're using PHP my admin. But nevertheless, if you check and refresh the users table here, you find that we have this user and the new information which is added here, boosted until the profession, which is nullable, of course, the university, the city, the height, and the age, and the relationship goals here, which is different ones. So we're going to use this information later. For now, this is it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.